Hi, welcome to my channel. Today's video is all about you, your intent, and how you manifest regardless of the current 3D, regardless of what you consider circumstances. What is a circumstance really? It's generally a past event or something that's going on that is temporary. It's fluid. Reality is fluid. Feeling states are fluid. I'm going to give an example, but first of all, I'm just going to talk about this in a little bit more detail, how you can stop considering circumstances as anything. Because when you put conditions on your manifestation, as in, well, this person would have to say this, and then this would have to happen, and then that would have to happen. No, none of that has to happen. Absolutely none of that has to happen in the order that you expect it to happen or at all. You can manifest crazy stuff that you cannot imagine how it could possibly come to you, but you have to get into the habit of not considering circumstances as anything. They are just what they are. Okay, they're there, but they have zero power unless you give them. It's all in your perception of them. Everything is in your perception of it, absolutely everything. If somebody's manifesting the same thing as you and they're not bothered about circumstances, they don't consider them to be a thing, they're not even considering them as an issue, then they are going to get what they want. And if you are considering them to be an issue, then that is going to hold you stuck in the situation you're in, because you're getting involved in the middle part. You're thinking, this has to change, that has to change. You don't have to worry about any of that. All you need to be concerned about is your intention. Your pure intention for what it is that you want is all that's necessary. And I've taught this before. I think I've done this on YouTube, and I might just done it on my members area. One really good way to do this: imagine yourself inside of a circle. All of the circumstances that you consider important are in there with you, and then you move them all outside of the circle. So it's just you in the circle with your pure desire for this thing. You don't have to expect it. You don't have to believe it's going to come. You are just going to sit with the pure desire for it for about 30 seconds. That's all, nothing else. That's a really simple exercise to show you and your subconscious mind that this means nothing. This other stuff means nothing. I just want this. Now, the example I'm going to give is one that I've given plenty of times before, but I think it's a really valuable one. If you guys, a lot of you guys are new here, so you won't have heard it, but a few years ago, we had staff. So there were 6 of us all together at one point, and I didn't want them anymore. Like, they were lovely people. They were all lovely people, but I just sat there one day and I thought, I just don't want this pressure anymore of having to make a certain amount of money just to break even and to pay the staff. Then we had to deal with the pensions, and all of that stuff came in, and I felt it weighing on me, and I felt uncomfortable with it. And I thought, in an ideal world, we wouldn't have any staff. It would just be us, and then we would outsource. That would be awesome. I didn't think anything more of it than that, apart from setting it as an intention, because I was into this at the time. But I actually thought to myself, but this is never going to happen. I cannot see in the world of any kind of reality how this could happen, because only the week before I had been having a discussion with a guy that had been with us for 12 years, and he was saying, and we'd had plenty of discussions about this in the past, but this was a week previous, where he was saying, I would never want to go freelance, never want to work for myself. I like the security of working for someone else. I love it here, been here for a long time. We're having a great big discussion about it. And so in my head, I had that, but he would never want to go freelance or anything. That just wouldn't happen. Anyway, so I didn't get bogged down in the circumstances. I knew what the circumstances were. I knew there were things, but I thought, that's not going to get in my way. I'm going to set my intention and hope for the best. That is basically what I did. Set the intention and hope for the best. Not keep thinking, oh, is it going to happen? Is it going to happen? Because it's probably not going to, because it's so way out there. How would everybody decide to leave? Because we can't make people redundant, because we're not in a position to do that. And I wouldn't want to do that anyway. And then I reckon it was 2 weeks later, when one member of staff said he wanted to go freelance because he was going to move away. I still did not see, I didn't think, oh, this is the manifestation. It didn't even occur to me, because I still didn't think everybody else was going to do the same. And then literally, to cut a long story short, everybody did the same. Once he did it, it had a knock-on effect, and everybody decided they wanted to do it. And so that was in the December, and by the January, we had no staff. I was sat in an office by myself. Like, literally by myself, because Jeremy decided to work from home, and I was sat in this massive office all by myself. And I sat there and thought, oh my God, that is absolutely crazy. Now, the craziest thing about it, in my opinion, and I don't know this as fact, because I didn't want to discuss it with him, because I didn't want to trigger any fear or doubt within me, but it appeared that the guy that had been saying that he would never go freelance, never want to work for himself, by the way, has his own business now, does work for himself, very successful, didn't appear to even think that he had said that. The way the conversation was unfolding, I was thinking, he seems completely oblivious to the fact that he said that he would never want to do this. So I was left thinking, did I get a completely new version of reality where this person that I was talking to had never thought that he wouldn't want to work for himself? It was a very strange one, and I'm not sure, because I never questioned it, because I never question anything. I just go with it when it happens. But it was a huge lifestyle change for us. It was just the relief of it. I cannot even tell you what the relief was, because we were in a great position because they were still working for us, but we didn't have all the other stuff that went with it, and we didn't have the upkeep of the office, and we'd had no commitment for wages and pensions or anything like that. It was just amazing. From that point onwards, things really started to shift for me, because I thought that those circumstances, there were circumstances, but I didn't consider them. I had a perception of them, but they didn't bog me down, because I think because it was such a huge thing, I thought that I don't see how that can happen. So I didn't keep considering them. But it taught me a very valuable lesson, that they absolutely mean nothing, because it's your perception of them that has the power, not them, because they're nothing. What are they? Just imagine the circumstance dissolving away. It's nothing now. It's been and gone. It's done. Everything is temporary. You're in a fluid state. Your feeling state is fluid. So therefore, your reality is fluid based on your feeling state. I'm going to briefly cover detachment as well, because something happened. Like, we've been waiting for something to happen, and time had gone on, and I said to Jeremy, I just don't think this is going to happen now. I think it's gone on too long. And then I thought to myself, you've just made a circumstance. You've decided that this has gone on too long now and it can't possibly happen now. So why are you're going to teach that circumstances don't matter, but then you are then perceiving time as your issue, perceiving time as a circumstance that means this is not going to happen. So yesterday I just sat and I did a little tapping session, because I love EFT. It just relieves me. I just get so much relief in it, and I just focused on the outcome that I wanted. So for like 2 minutes, that's all. And then I just let it go. And I thought, okay, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. It's not the end of the world, but it would be lovely. Today it happened. Today I just got a text about an hour ago, and I thought, oh my God, and I totally released on it. So that was pure detachment, thinking if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. And that tapping session really allowed me to focus on the words. So the affirmations, for sure. And I tell you, I don't normally use affirmations to manifest, but sometimes if I'm doing an EFT session, I do. So that's a funny thing, isn't it? I've only been doing that. I mean, I've used EFT for a long, long time, but to actually kind of manifest, I don't do it normally. But I thought, oh well, what's the harm? I'm focused too much on the time here. Let's take myself away from the time, just focus on the outcome. So there you go. It happened in that time. Crazy. So this is why detachment is so important, because we can feel that we're not too attached to something because we're not stressing about it. We know it's not the end of the world if it doesn't happen, but we are attached to it. What we're attached to is the current circumstances. We attach ourselves to those, and they become the thing. So although we're wanting something else, we're more attached to the current 3D circumstances than we are to the outcome, really. I think that's what a lot of attachment is, really. We get attached to what we see. We get attached to 3D reality because we can see it. We have confirmation bias. This is what's here now. This is what we're dealing with. So it is kind of more of that, really, than what we need to do is go, this doesn't matter. This is our perception of it that's holding us in the place we're in. What is our perception of it? Okay, well, let's just ditch that perception. Don't have to put a new perception in, but we do need to ditch that perception. Just do the circle technique in there, push it outside. It is just a massively clear signal to your subconscious mind when you do that. And it's good for the mind, but also amazing signal for the subconscious that this is not important. This is important. What I want, the outcome that I want, is all important. But again, circumstance is just a made up word for something, isn't it? Really, we make up word, the English language is all just made up, really. Doesn't mean anything. Circumstances going on around you at the moment might be really crappy. So to you, obviously they do mean something. But if you want to change, if you want something different, you have to know that they're temporary, that everything is fluid, and that they will not get in your way. They don't have power. Nothing has power apart from you and your perception. Your perception is what creates you, creates the I am version of you, and that's what you see in front of you. But if you come away from that perception and either ditch it completely or find a new perception if that works for you, but you don't have to, a new perspective, you don't have to do that. But what you do have to do is stop considering all of these things, going, yeah, you know, this has to happen, then that has to happen. Nothing has to happen in the way you think. I mean, I would have never seen what happened with me coming. I mean, loads of stuff has happened in my life over the time, but I don't believe you have to have any belief whatsoever. A lot of people say you have to assume it, you have to know it's on the way, you have to expect it. I pretty much never have that. Really, I never have an overall, like, yes, I expect this to happen. I don't think I've ever had that. I can get a feeling of, oh, I think this is going to happen, but not always, you know. Sometimes with that, I have no feeling whatsoever, apart from extremely unlikely, but we'll just let it roll. I've put the intention out there or in there. I've done that. I can't do any more than that. That's better than just stressing about, I don't want to do this anymore. This is awful. Oh, I'm not enjoying this. That was getting me nowhere. It made me feel crap. So I wanted to just give myself a positive. And the positive is, this is my intention. And I felt like at least I've done something now. I've set that intention. Where it goes, who knows? But if I hadn't have set it, I'd be stuck in that energy of what I didn't want. So that really helped me to move forward purely by setting this pure intention of what it was that I wanted. So at the time, my intention was this: I don't want staff anymore, but I want it to happen in the most harmonious way possible. I want everyone to be happy. Because I didn't, you know, anything can happen, can't it? The universe, whatever this is, doesn't know. Reality doesn't know good from bad, positive from negative. It will just give you the quickest route, really, if you let it. And it won't matter what that is. So I have found stressing that has really helped me with changing my reality. Right. If you don't know anything about me, I'm an author, manifestation coach, and a mindset coach.